In programming, a JavaScript function is a block of code designed to perform a particular task. A JavaScript function is executed when something invokes it or calls it. My example of a function using the Java programming language. So let me start on declaring a variable static for the add function and the declaration of int and int b works when you call it, or the result will show if you have it returned. That's how function works. So let's see, int sum equals a plus b, which is the parameter here. This is parameter int a and then parameter int b, and the name of the function is add. So this in here is the declaration in the main function. Int x is the main declaration. So here's the condition, or here's the equation that I got. Int sum equals a plus b, which is the declaration of int, and then sum is the name of the variable. A plus b, or parameter a plus parameter b. So for us to get the result, we need to have this one return. So what we need to return or to call is the sum, because that will show the result. So return sum. So this is how it works with function. You need to invoke it, or you need to call it. So here the result, it will not yet show up because we haven't printed it yet. So system.out println, and we need to call the variable x, and when we call the variable x, it will show the result of what we have here as the statement, or what we call here in return sum. So let me see, semicolon for the end. So this is now the complete function. Int x is the variable, add is the function name, 4 and 3 is the declaration of the parameters. So system.out.println for me to be able to display the result. So private static int add, this is now the function where we need to call what we have declared here in the main statement. So int add, as what I have said, a function, int a the parameter, int b the parameter as well. So int sum equals parameter a plus parameter b is to return sum. So we need to have this one build and run, and it will show us the result. Let me go ahead. So since 4 here, int a and int b is 4 and 3, so sum of equals parameter a plus parameter b, or we can say the sum of 4 and 3 is 7. So that's the result, 7. That's how it works with functions. Thank you.
So let's start with what is switch in a programming language. In a computer programming language, a switch statement is a type of selection control mechanism used to allow the value of a variable or expression to change the control flow of program execution via search and map. So the first thing we do is to declare a data type and a variable. So number atong variable, and then make a scan to get some input from the user. D for the smaller, and then our variable number. So whatever the user input is gonna be stored in the number variable. And then so next is to put that syntax of the switch. First type the word switch in the argument. Put the chosen variable that you want to test. So, ang number. And finally, magbutang to og mga bracket kay dira na to ibutang ang atong cases. Case. Atong first nga case. And then, ang atong gusto i-print out if ever nga siya ang gipili sa user. Siya ang gi-enter sa user. So, naanatay first case and then ang iyahang code. Dili na to kalimtan si break. So, the purpose of break statement is used inside the switch to terminate a statement sequence. So, dili jud nato dapat kalimtan ang break. Kaya if ever nga mag-input ang user og number, dili siya ma-proceed hantod sa pinakalas sa atong case. And of course, dili po nato kalimtan si default. The default case can be used for performing a task when none of the case is true. Example, si user, nag-input siya og kanang number nga wala sa mga cases. So, si default mo ay mahimong resolve. So, I entered Roy. I don't know what you entered. Pero okay ra nga sa default, wala siya break. So, itong i-compile. Let's see, mag-input taog number gikan sa ato ang cases. Okay. Mag-try sad taog input og number nga wala sa ato ang cases. I don't know what you entered. Sana lang siya.
In computer science, a for loop or simply for loop is a control flow statement for specifying iteration, which allows code to be executed repeatedly. So here is the example of a for loop, and I will be using a Java programming language. So nag-declare ko og integer nga I na equal siya sa 0. Then the other one is ang I is less than 5. So pag ang value sa I nga 0 is less than 5, so i-print niya ang value sa I. So if the statement is true, maghatag siya output. Then after gatag og output, mag-increment na din siya sa value sa I. So mahimo siyang 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Dili siya mahimong mabutngan o dugangan og 5 kay ang 5 is not less than 5. Equals man na siya dapat. So mo to siyang pasabot sa for loop. Mag-stop na din siya og increment. The while loop or the while loop loops through a block of code as long as a specified condition is true. So I am using a C++ programming language and declaring integer I is equals to 0. And inside the loop, the I is less than 5. If the statement is true, then maghatag siya output, which is the I, ang value sa I. So, ang answer niya is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So, para sa kung giingon ganiya sa for loop, nga pag ang statement is true, mag-increment siya. Then, dili siya mahimong 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, kaya ang 5 is not less than 5. It is equals to 5. So, mauto siya. So, that's all. Thank you.
Functions. So, whether you are a professional programmer or just a beginner, it is always better to break your program into blocks or functions. It will help you later, first of all, in debugging. Secondly, it is just better to have an elegant, readable, and organized code. So, a function is a part of a program that has its own name. This name can be used in the program as a command, or this command is called a function call. When a function is called, the commands of which it consists are executed. A function can return a value similar to an operation and therefore can be used in an expression along with operations. So in general, It is a block of organized, reusable code that is used to perform a single related action. It provides better modularity for your application and a high degree of code reusing. You have already seen various functions like print and main. These are called built-in functions provided by the language itself. So good thing in function is that they are famous with several names. Different programming languages name them differently. For example, functions. In Java programming language, function is called methods, and sometimes subroutines, procedures, and etc. So this time, I will be demonstrating a sample function of codes in Java programming language. So, let's say nata integer code A that is equal to 5. Then integer B which is equal to 10. So to multiply these two programs, we have to type system.out.println, then the open parentheses, the A times B, the close, then try to run. So the output is 50. So pwede ra kay nato ni siya balik-balik guys. I-copy paste dayon kung gusto ninyo. I-change na nato ang integer then ang values. Then magdugang na punta like so kung ato siyang i-run ang katong gidugang nato 6 ang yang output. So mag-copy paste na punta. Copy paste na punta. I-change lang din nato ang integer dayon ang values. So murag annoying ra kay nga balik-balik nato siya. So kung gusto ninyong ay usa siya sa usa lang ka paragraph mo netong buhaton. So mag-public static void. Then this time mag-name na sa atong method og multiply. So as you can see, ang ubos ug gani sa ibabaw nga part parehas ra siya. Pero ang kaning dani sa ibabaw nga part mo na siyang pinaka-importante nga chunk sa codes kay kung i-hit nato ang run box, muran magid na siya. So anyways, to pass values into your methods, type in lang nato sa parentheses ang mga integers, then to print out, type nato ang system.out. Dayon, i-change na to diri sa ibabaw. Pwede na nato na-eriso ng atuhang mga unang nga integers ng gipangbutang. So, mangbutang na to multiply, and parentheses, 5, 10, then, i-delete na po na to ng 2 sa ubos. Ay, ito sa i-run. Try na to run. Then, i-try na to sa ubos. Ato i-delete, ato i-change. So, pwede na ka to siya i-change ang values, guys, sa ibabaw nga part. Like, for example, inani. Change na to ang values natin to 100. So, nana siyang may tabo. Then, sa sunod